don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up. I see you like the again. While you was sleeping on me, I'm in 40 bands.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They come in playing reasonably well. Losers the last time out, but winners of 4 of 5 before that. Two teams here playing for pride as the final week of the NFL season is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. Commanding the offense will be Lamar Jackson, the electric quarterback out of the University of Louisville.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Green 39! Green 39!
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, here we go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Ross on the return. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
I loved our discussion this week. You know, we had our weekly phone call to talk about our game coming up. And we had to reflect on the fact that he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award last week. Yet his team lost. You don't see that very often.
No, I know a lot of people dislike that, but when you look at the numbers across the conference from last week, he was clearly the best. So I say the award goes to him, and it did.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. He was so good, they just couldn't ignore him.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And a man, as we look at the starters now, a man who really has earned us talking about him in the booth, Julio Jones.
He's a 1,000-yard receiver each and every year. So sleek, so wonderful. I call him Secretariat.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. This is Coleman. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. They sit at number 20 in the NFL right now against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
To throw is Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there at 22.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Coleman, and an alley to run. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Get up!
From the shotgun, Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll go down at the 28. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Tackle made by the 2nd-round pick, Isaiah Oliver. Defensive starters, here they are for Atlanta. They come into this one in the bottom half of the NFL against the run, number 19 overall.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll try and run forward with Collins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box then.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Jackson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage. Now
they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards and it moves the sticks. And defensively they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Ryan to the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Stewart. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 3-0 is our score. We're back to Atlanta in just a moment. This is the NFL, and you're watching EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
Ready! Back 25!
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Adam Gotsis in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And I guess, partner, you call that a coverage sack.
Oh, without a doubt, because where did he have to go with the football? I know everybody wants to get on him about, hey, get rid of the football. You had too much time in the pocket. But he's scanning the field, nowhere to go, and that allowed the pressure to ultimately get to him.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll begin the drive with Collins. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
Green, 39! Green!
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Green, 39! Green, 39!
From the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Fair to say it hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. All right, gearing up for another drive here. Austin Hooper trots back out. Unless he has a Julio Jones-type 300-yard game in him that Julio did against the Panthers in 2016, probably not going to reach 1,000, but still pretty good year.
I think you're right. It's a pretty good year for him, but let's face it, every receiver's dream is to have a game like Julio Jones had against the Carolina Panthers. It's 300 yards on the nose, and it didn't matter what coverage they sent his way. He solved it each and every time. Maybe our guy can get that way in this ball game. Let's see. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The Falcons on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Ready. 25. Look out.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Let's go. 3-19.
On third down, Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
Here's Brett Kern now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll sling that one in there. Complete to Cooper on the comebacker. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Same result as last play, 14 yards and another 1st down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run on 1st down, and now they contemplate a 2nd and goal situation.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though.
Ready!
Trying to punch it in, Stewart. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup. There, and it moves the sticks. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for him.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll get just a couple, but the sticks move again.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now. Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. On second down, Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
On third down, Jackson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. I talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome into our EA Sports Halftime Report. A busy final day of the regular season, so let's get to it. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Ready! Back 25!
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Ready! Back 25!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this down to the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. It's caught over the middle, Hooper. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Freeman again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Ryan. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They come out here in the eye. They'll look to run with Freeman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? From the gun, Ryan. And it'll be intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. Here's Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Jackson from the shotgun. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
To throw again is Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Brett Kern now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A gain of 3, second down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. On after the sack, he's still down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So they couldn't get anything there, Charles. Now 4th down from their own 2, and a bad situation, to be frank, for the special teams.
Yeah, if you are the punting team now, your number one thing is protect the punter because you got to think they may actually come after him trying to get a big play.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. That's taken inside his own 40. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Ravens, they'll take over. By the way, they're into the second half now in Philadelphia on the NFL scoreboard. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 45.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
The drive starts with a run by Collins. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 2nd down, Collins. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. They run with Collins. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 more there and another 1st down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st, they go right back to Collins. And a short gain down to about the 33. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
All right, here we go.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Jackson to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you could actually be pushed back before the 1st down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the 1st down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
A give left side to Collins. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now it's Jackson. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. Collins now the lone man in the backfield, 2nd and goal.
Here we go now. Blue landing. Blue landing.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Alex Collins with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. A 10-play drive that time. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times up.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Adam Gotsis in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Set. 319. 319.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Now let's go. Blue line.
Here's Collins. And an alley to run. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads. Bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now.
All right, here we go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move couldn't free him. Cordray Tankersley on the stop defensively.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Okay, didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
Here we go now. Blue line. Blue line.
On 3rd down, this is Collins. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Jackson now to throw on 2nd down. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Andrews. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Jackson on 3rd down. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Here's Brett Kern now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Hey, let's go.
A 20th carry now for Freeman. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. The Ravens moving quickly here as the clock runs. Back to throw. Drops it underneath for Collins. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Back to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They run, Devontae Freeman. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair, low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Falcons, it will wind up a .500 season as the win means they'll finish right at 8-8. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, this loss will be the capper to a dismal 4-12 campaign. And with some high picks coming in this spring's draft, it's a team for whom a roster overhaul may be on the way. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.